Welcome back. So now that we set up our videos controller right here and we know how to get to it from, in our case, Swagger, how do we actually get to that videos controller? We know that. Now we need to figure out what we actually want to return and how we do that. So first of all, I want to return a list of videos. If everything goes as I hope, then I want to return the list of the videos that is inside my database right now. Now, in order to get to that list, how do we do that in the old program? Let's go to the old menu right here in the console application. It seems we're using some kind of video service in order to get the job done. And then all the way down here, what we're doing in the read is we're saying video service, give me all the videos. But we don't know how it does it. We don't care how it does it, but we need access to the video service now inside our controller. So we can call that read all. How do we do that? Well, luckily it's the exact same thing. So I'm actually going to just copy it right here and put it into the videos controller just to show you that we're actually going to use a video service just like we did in the old solution. But here, of course, the constructor name is going to be the videos controller. So notice now we have access to the video service from this area right here, the new web API. And before we had the same access from the console application. But the cool thing is, we don't need to change anything in any of these layers because we are just reusing code that already exists inside the service. So now we have the service, all we have to do is kind of say read all, and we are kind of done in the controller. That's all the controller needed to do in order to get all the videos and return them. We're not quite there yet. Let's try and run the program because we still have some issues with dependency injection. Again, if you guys remember, if we go back to the UI right here, I talked about setting up dependency injection right here by creating a service collection and adding some videos. We don't have that yet in the web API. So we'll probably get an error. But let's just try and go to Swagger right here and see what happens. Inside Swagger, I'll try and execute again. And notice I'm getting back. I cannot figure out what the video service is. I don't know what video service to actually use as implementation class. Go and help me. So what I'll do is I'll go down to the startup file because that is where we define what we actually should use whenever we need an iVideo service. What should we use when we need an iVideo repository? Let's try with the services right here. We can say something called add scoped. You'll notice the name is actually exactly the same as the one we had in the program file right here, add scoped. And then I just need to put in the information right here. Let's just start with this guy. I'll just take the same one that I have inside my other setup. There we go. Now I need to do a couple of imports in order to do this. I'll import the video service and I'll add a reference at the same time so it knows it's from the project up here. So I'll just ask it to do both. And also the video service, I'll also need a reference for that project. It's inside the domain project, and there I also need a reference for that video service. So there we go. Now we've explained to the system, when you need an iVideo service, you're going to get the implementation of video service right here. We've told that now to our web API. So let's try and restart it. We're still going to fail, but I kind of want to show you guys the error you'll get if you try this now. Notice I'm not even allowed to start the program now. It'll actually fail right away because it says, well, thank you for telling me what the video service is, but you also have to tell me what is a repository because I need that one now. So I don't know what an iVideo repository is. So you also have to specify that in your scope. So let's try and do that as well. Let's try and add one more here inside the startup file, iVideo repository, and that'll be my video repository that I'll use. And again, I'll have to kind of help it here because it doesn't have access to that yet. Video repository, let's try and see if we can find it. And inside, it's inside the solution called 2021 SQL. And there I need to import this one. I'll do it. And now I have access to the video repository. And the reason I need this is because the video service has a dependency injection right here for the video repository. And that's why I need that one as well. So let's go back to startup file. Now all our dependency injection is set up for this simple solution. Let's just try and run the application one final time and see if we actually now can see all our videos. Going back to Swagger, going to execute again. Now we don't fail anymore. We get a 200 code back, meaning that everything went okay. But notice we get a blank set of videos. But it's still an array, meaning that we're actually getting back an empty array, meaning no videos. Well, because there are no videos yet. Don't worry, we'll start looking at the create next lesson, but that's what it took to dependency inject our new video service into our controller and also add repository dependency injection into the video service. But again, notice I only made changes here and now I'm up and running with the clean architecture that I had before inside the console application. Let's go back to the controller one final time And this is how you do the dependency injection. And next lesson, we'll try and actually add a post request so we know how to do that. So that's it for this lesson. See you next time. Bye.